Chapter 1, Moving In. I never thought moving into a new city could feel so lonely. Everything was unfamiliar. Every street, every sound, every face made me feel like an intruder in someone else's life. I found the apartment on Willow Lane by accident. The listing was online, almost too good to be true. Spacious, quiet, and incredibly affordable. I emailed the landlord, and within a day, he handed me the keys. The moment I opened the door, I felt uneasy. The walls were painted pale cream, but the corners of the room seemed darker somehow, like shadows lingering where they shouldn't. I shrugged it off. New city, new start. I carried my bags upstairs and set them down in the living room, unpacking slowly, humming to myself and pretending the unease wasn't there. That night, I went to bed early, but the room felt different when I closed my eyes. The silence was thick, the kind that presses down on your chest. Then I heard it, the soft creak of floorboards. At first, I told myself it was the old building settling, but the sound grew closer, more deliberate. I froze. Someone was walking in my apartment. But I live alone. My heart hammered as I listened. The footsteps stopped right outside my bedroom door. I tried to sleep, telling myself it was my imagination, that moving into a new place always makes you nervous. Then came a whisper, soft and almost inaudible, "Are you awake?" I bolted upright. The room was empty. My phone was on the charger across the room. I lived alone. I didn't sleep the rest of the night, sitting on the edge of my bed, clutching the blanket and listening to the faint hum of the city outside. For days, I convinced myself it was stress, exhaustion, paranoia. But the feeling of being watched never left me, and every sound in the apartment started to feel intentional, like someone was silently observing me. Every creak of the floor, every wind gust rattling the windows, every hum from the pipes made me jump. I tried to distract myself with unpacking, organizing, cleaning, but nothing worked. Then came the small things, objects slightly out of place, the cold spots that lingered in certain rooms, and the occasional shadow crossing the corner of my vision. I told myself I was imagining things, that loneliness was playing tricks on me, but deep down, I knew I wasn't alone. The discovery. It started with small things at first. A chair slightly moved from where I left it. A picture frame tilted on the wall when I was certain I had straightened it. I began hearing voices, murmurs too soft to catch actual words, like whispers just at the edge of hearing. I avoided the basement entirely, but every day I walked past the door, I felt an inexplicable chill. One evening, after a particularly long day at work, I noticed a faint light flickering under the door. I froze. I hadn't turned on any lights in the basement, and I certainly hadn't been down there that day. I slowly approached and reached for the handle, my heart thumping. The moment my fingers touched the cold metal, the light went out. I stepped back, feeling my stomach twist in knots. I tried calling the landlord, but he didn't answer. The apartment had become a place of tension and fear, yet I couldn't leave because I had no other option at the time. Sleep became nearly impossible. Every night I felt eyes on me, shadows brushing past me, whispers crawling into my ears. Then, one night, after the sounds grew unbearable, I forced myself to the attic. The small pull-down panel had always been tucked away, and I hadn't dared open it before. With trembling hands, I climbed the chair and pushed it up. A blast of stale, cold air hit me. Dust coated everything, but a clear path led to a corner where objects had been left, water bottles, a pillow, a sweater, some empty wrappers. Someone had been living above me, silently watching, unnoticed. I backed away quickly and locked myself in my room, shaking. I called 911. Police arrived, searched every inch of the apartment, but found nothing. They dismissed the items as left by a previous tenant. I knew better. I felt it. The apartment had a presence, watching, waiting, patient. Escape and aftermath. A few nights later, the sounds escalated. Footsteps thundered down the stairs. Doors slammed shut. Whispers turned into full sentences I couldn't understand. Panic clawed at me constantly. Around 2 in the morning, I awoke to a loud bang. Something had slammed the basement door open. I froze in bed, every muscle taut, heart racing. Then I heard it, a voice, distinct and chilling, "I found you." Not human, not even entirely familiar, as if a recording had come to life and twisted itself into reality. I didn't hesitate. I leaped from the bed, grabbed my coat and keys, and ran out of the apartment barefoot, down the stairs, out the front door. I didn't stop until I reached the convenience store down the street, pounding on the door until someone let me in. I called the police, but when they came, the apartment was silent. Empty. Ordinary. But I knew the truth. I couldn't go back. I packed what little I could the next morning and left Willow Lane forever. Months passed. I moved into a small apartment far across the city. I tried to convince myself I was safe. I tried to live normally, but sometimes, when the world grows quiet and the night is deep, I still hear it. The soft creak of floorboards, whispers just at the edge of hearing, the feeling of eyes on me. I've never answered. I don't know if it waits for me, or if it has moved on. But I will never forget the apartment on Willow Lane. The apartment that watched, waited, and reminded me every night that I was never truly alone.